What's going on, everybody? This is Patrick from Porter's Unboxings, as you know. And today, guys, we are going to do another match review. If you didn't see my last review, I did, first of all, I reviewed the whole pay-per-view of Revolution. And then I reviewed MJF versus Hangman Adam Page, Texas Death for the AEW World title. But now, my personal favorite match from AEW is from Full Gear, the Lights Out match. Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley from November 9th, 2019. Go check out this match. You will not be disappointed. So the match starts off with some punches. Like normal. Just ring the damn bell. Alright, so punches, kicks from both men. And then springboards, boots a face from Kenny, and just super kicks, elbow shots, push off the gut, and what Brody Lee used to do, like a apron suplex. So they both go outside. Jon Moxley's trying to find a weapon. They find a trash can in the trash can lid. But it's not going to work because Jon Moxley hits Kenny Omega in the skull twice with the trash can lid. And now he's going to use the trash can, I think. This is a great match, guys. Go and watch it on YouTube if you want no commentary. But if you do, go get the DVD. I think it's out of print now, but I got this when it first came out on DVD. When they debuted the DVDs. Double or Nothing 2019, All Out 2019, Full Gear, and Double or Nothing 2020. And now they're both in the crowd. Chair shots at the back of Moxley. The way they got into the crowd is Kenny Omega drop kicked on Jon Moxley into the crowd. And now Kenny Omega has a beer and he cracks it over the skull of Moxley. So, and now Kenny Omega has a full trash can with trash in it, and he just slams it on Moxley. He puts the trash can back on Moxley, and he's in the crowd now on the guardrail, and double stomp to Moxley. So now we get back into the... Actually, we're still in the crowd, and Kenny Omega grabs another beer and slams it on his back. He grabs a chair, but Jon Moxley pushes him into the crowd again. Best Mountain Dew ever. Voltage. I tried it in an airport, and it changed my life. So, yeah. They're back to the apron. Now they're going back into the ring, but no fisherman suplex on the floor. Now they're back into the ring, and Moxley's trying to look for a weapon. He found a barbed wire bat. I'm guessing Negan is in here. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is an AEW superstar. But now to the body of Kenny Omega with the barbed wire bat. He says this is going to hurt. But I think Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley, that match is awesome. My favorite. And then this match is a close second. So even though, like, this match happened, like, 7 years ago, still one of my greatest, still one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. So, in any wrestling promotion. And that's even up there with Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at 25. So, but now Kenny Omega has his back is bleeding from the barbed wire bat. Jon Moxley is stepping on the barbed wire bat on Kenny Omega's back. He's wrenching his face, but no, Kenny blocks. He eye pokes Mox, and they're going at it once again. Shot for shot. But no, Moxley invades. No. Right to his arm with the barbed wire bat, and the trash can to the head. Kenny Omega is now back in control, but his arm is shot. And pile driver onto the trash can. And no one has the cover yet. No one has covered anyone yet. This is a 39-minute match. So Kenny Omega has a table. Kenny Omega has a barbed wire broom. Yes, broom, since he's the cleaner. And Kenny Omega smacks Jon Moxley in the head with the barbed wire broom. My God. And now Kenny has the broom again, and Moxley's neck is busted open and his back. He's doing the same thing that Mox did to Kenny. He's wiping the floor with Mox. And now stomp on the barbed wire bat. Stomp on the barbed wire broom to Jon Moxley's back. Now he's just raking the face of Mox onto the barbed wire broom. But Kenny Omega has broke his finger. 1, 2, the first cover of the match. He has a trash can. He rolls him. He gets up on the top rope. He takes a trash can and he flips back onto Mox. 1, 2, kicks out at 2. And Kenny can't believe it. He takes out a mousetrap table. Yes, a mousetrap table, guys. This isn't 2019. This is a new era in wrestling, folks. Anything is possible. This is the new era of ECW. And even now, it's still good. In 2020, it had its ups and downs. V-trigger to John, and a clothesline. to Kenny Omega. But he's not going for the pin because he's unsanctioned. He's violent. Superplex onto the mousetrap table. And now Kenny Omega can't stop squirming. He's actually ticking. But now they're just fighting amongst themselves. Jon Moxley tries to find a weapon. He finds a gold chain and wraps it around Kenny Omega's neck. He does a side slam onto it. 1-2 kick out. A neck breaker onto the chain. And Kenny kicks out at 1. So, wraps it around his throat. And Kenny Omega reverses the sleeper hold with a trash can lid to the face about 5 times. And guys, we're only 11 minutes into this match. So, a Uranagi on the chain. And now he's looking for another weapon. And he finds a ice pick screwdriver thing. But it doesn't connect. Because because Kenny evades it. And he puts it right into the turnbuckle. Irish Swift suplex. But backbreaker onto the chain again. So now he's wrapping it around. And Fisherman suplex again. Or Fisherman buster. Sorry. Okay. So he does the back suplex thing with his arms and then flops him. He does that like 3 or 4 times during the match. But does it happen on the chains? No. So now it's Kenny's turn to wrap around Jon Moxley's neck. But it doesn't. It works and Jon passes out, but the match isn't over. So then he's going for his suicide dive. But Mox moves out of the way, I think. No. And they both go through the table. So in the ring they go. Kenny's looking for a weapon. And he found it. Shards of glass. And he breaks Moxley's fingers with it. He just slices the fingers. And then he says, that was fun. Let's break more glass. So then you know what happens with the glass since you watched my Revolution thing. Spinebuster onto the glass. Mox kicks out. And but then they're just like raking across the back. Moxley's in a submission hold and he's just going through glass and Now Kenny's picking up the glass. It makes Jon Moxley swallow it. He puts it in Moxley's mouth, guys. And then V-trigger. No! Back suplex onto the glass. V-trigger. And the glass pops out of his mouth. And then Kenny Omega runs the ropes. Another V-trigger. This match is amazing, guys. If you need to watch a professional wrestling match, if you're bored at home, watch this match, please. And then watch MJF versus Hangman. So Kenny Omega takes the ice pick and just carves, making dots in his head, making dots in Moxley's head. He screams for the Young Bucks and Hangman to bring out a barbed wire spider web. And that's what they bring him. And then Moxley, he goes for the one-winged angel, but Moxley reverses and does a paradigm shift. Yes, or a suplex into the barbed wire mesh. And now they're stuck. Does the match get over? I have no idea. Oh, wait. Yes, I do, because I've seen this 5 times. So Moxley is trying to put Kenny through a stage light, but Kenny reverses and takes a light and smacks it across Moxley's head twice. And Kenny Omega does a V-trigger and smashes the light through Moxley's skull. And now they're both in the ring. Kenny Omega grabs a piece of the table, but Moxley paradigm shifts him head first into the glass. I can't believe this wasn't it. But it's not. Because we still have 9 minutes to go in this match. Moxley finds a pair of pliers and takes the rings off the ring that holds the ring together. And now it's just hard wood. He takes the padding off. He takes everything off. And now it's just a wooden mesh. So now he's trying to go for a power bomb or a pile driver. But Kenny reverses into a backbreaker onto the wood. And here we go with another V-trigger. He's going up for the one-winged angel. But Moxley reverses. Kenny reverses into a paradigm shift of his own. Will this be enough? 1, 2. Kicks out at 2 from Mox. And Kenny has no idea how to beat this son of a bitch. So now he's going up. To do a back suplex. But no. Reverse 450. But Mox moves out of the way. Moxley's trying to get up. He goes for the pin, I think. Moxley's trying to get over to the pin. But Kenny kicks out at 2. He tries to go for another paradigm shift. And he gets it head first onto the board, onto the wood. Moxley covers him. 1, 2, 3. And Jon Moxley wins the lights out match against Kenny Omega. And this would lead him to win the AEW World title at Revolution against Chris Jericho. And then he flips off Tony Khan, or he flips off the camera, and that's supposed to be at Tony Khan because this was an unsanctioned lights out match, which means it's not the win-loss record. So Moxley didn't really win against Kenny Omega this night, but he knows he won. We know he won. This was a great match. I give it probably a 9 out of 10. Creative, I give it a 10 out of 10. The back and forth, they really know how to work with each other. So guys, this has been Patrick from Porter's Unboxings. As you know, tell me if you watched it live on pay-per-view. Do you have the DVD? Are you going to watch it on HBO Max later if you have that? This has been Patrick from Porter's Unboxings, as you know. And guys, I'm out. Peace.